This is the Two Scrappy Chicks podcast where life is messy, the stories are real, and we dare to talk about it anyway.
Oh, so frustrating. Third, fourth, fifth time trying to record this. Okay, so I'll start off with Big Brother probably was not my strongest um recording. I'll do better. I was just frustrated with starting to watch the wrong season. And I wondered why it looked familiar. And I'm like, wait, there's supposed to be someone on here named Lyric. Is she coming in later? Yeah. And I just felt like, because then I was watching, I switched to Hulu and then was watching, the Fluff episode with Jerry O'Connell. And then I'm like, okay, I definitely did something wrong. So yeah, I figured out I was starting to watch the wrong season, at least the first episode. So I had to watch it. And I already watched the Fluff and that. So yeah, back on track. But yeah, if you want a better idea of what's going on, Reality Steve, his podcast, um, he can give you a better insight than what I did. So I promise I'll do better. But I did watch Married at First Sight last night because I thought it's on every Sunday. Apparently not. Apparently it's Thursday. And there was two episodes to watch. And the next episodes, three of them will be on Thursday. And this is Peacock. So just so you all know, three episodes. So be prepared for the next podcast to cover three episodes. Okay. So with this episode, episode two, it left off with Marissa walking down the aisle to Adam and saying it was her mom walking her down the aisle saying, "Oh my God, I know him." And he remembered her too. So apparently about 2 years ago, they met at a bar and that like he went up to her and told her like she was beautiful and that. Um, I think they exchanged numbers, but they never dated and they never like got in touch. And so yeah, I guess that's I mean, but Seattle seems like a big town, so I thought that was kind of odd. Uh how such a big town and you're marrying somebody that you actually did meet 2 years ago, but it didn't go anywhere, and maybe it should have been left that way. I just don't get a good vibe about this couple. And she did thank him for his gift, and she said she loves pickleball. And she said, I guess she gave him liquor, and she's like, "Did you like the shot?" And he's like, "I don't drink." And none of his family was there. They were all on vacation, so it was only his friends there. And I think that kind of gave her a bit of a red flag. So then next we switch to Tori and Felipe, and it's at their reception, and he's telling her about his Italian restaurant. And then Tori's sister, who's the maid of honor, Macy, she gave a speech. And then Jeremy, who's the best man of Felipe, gave a speech. He's been Felipe's best friend for 17 years. And then Felipe's sister, Natalia, she was adorable. Um, she gave a cute speech and said that Tori would be in for a treat with his dancing. So Tori was like, "Oh, can't wait to see this." Um, so then we go to Mecca and Belle Jolie, and she has a lot of talks with his dad, and very enlightening. He seems to be a cool dude, and I can't talk. A cool dude shoots from the hip. Um, so then next, we go to Nick and Courtney, and this isn't their wedding. This is still like um questions for matching. Apparently, they're both on the conservative side, and she was asked about January 6th, and she's like, remind me what that was, and they never showed when they explained it to her. So Nick does a 9 to 5 tech job. Nick has also been on several other reality shows dating. He was on The Circle and Perfect Match. And then there was another show he was on. I don't think it was a dating one. And he said he's loyal, never cheated, and that he's lonely. And Courtney was her last boyfriend cheated on her. She's has a fear of abandonment and she feels lonely. So the experts thought those two would make a good match. Um and so then it switched to their wedding and you see Courtney and she's very beautiful. And so is her mom, and her mom, like Courtney, has these amazing arms. She's in really good shape, and her dad's uh looks good too. Next, we go to Michelle and Cameron, and this is still the matching. And she has endometriosis. I believe that's what she has. And she froze her eggs. She really wants to have children. She is Asian, and she is adorable. And then they matched her with Cameron, who's very tall, and he is a basketball coach at the local community college. And he's never had a long-term relationship. So, next we go back to Marissa and Adam's wedding, and Adam starts to play the piano for Marissa, and it seemed like people were weirded out by it. Some thought, oh, it was cool, he's talented, but some people looked at like they were like their facial expressions were saying awkward. All right, next we go to Shawn and Nikki, and this is the matching part. And it seems like they're both on the same page. They both want kids. Um, Shawn likes long legs. Nikki had teen parents. So she grew up, struggling. So she made sure that's not how her adult life was. So Nikki's very successful and she wanted somebody who their salary that they made like 250K a year. Shawn, his dad was a pastor, so he had a very strict life and he didn't have sex till he was 21. And then I think he said again, not till 29. But both of them are in their 40s now. All right, then we have Michelle and Cameron's wedding. And um, the what did they say about Cam? That he was oh, he played pro. And I want to say he played along Steph Curry. Steph Curry's name was um mentioned and that he's great with kids. It's a lot of skipping around because you have all these couples, so it's a lot of skipping around. That's what the show does. So then we have Belshali and Mecca back to them, and Mecca's dad was doing a toast, but it felt more like a roast, and it was interesting. Next we go back to Tori and Felipe's wedding. And Tori's mom gave a nice speech, and then Tori and Felipe are dancing. And yeah, you could see how much Felipe loves to dance. Next, we go to Courtney and Nick. And Nick apparently has a twin brother, but they're not identical, so they're fraternal twins. and he gives a speech. And then uh, for the end of the episode of two, it ends where Nikki and Shawn are having their wedding. And um, I'm trying to think if it was at the end of two or the beginning, but he gave a nice gift. Shawn did to Nikki, and it was a necklace with their names and the marriage date engraved on it, and she thought that was really sweet. And so yeah, she had high hopes. And so now we're getting into episode three, and um Shawn thought at first that he wouldn't get married and that he's a doctor, he's an education doctor. So then we go to Caitlin and Devlin. Oh, Devlin. Devlin is from let's just go with it. Adam Sandler movie from 2011 with Jen Aniston. And Nicole Kidman was in it, and her character's name was Devlin. All right. Caitlin and Devin. So this is the last of the matching. Um, and Devin said it would be ideal if his person worked remotely, and Caitlin does for a marketing firm. Devin is a rugby player and he loves the outdoors. And he grew up with a single mom and a brother, no dad. Caitlin obviously has both of her parents in her life. Um, and then Devin's great grandma was praising him. And then you see Devin's mom, because she had him, young. And I mean, she could pass for his sister. She was so young looking. So, in the I wouldn't say audience, but where everyone sits, Caitlin's dad was up front. His name is Jeff. And he was just like having a moment. And at first I was thinking, gosh, he's like a jerk. And being mouthy, and I think people were hearing because he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to those effers and this and that." So, Caitlin did not have her dad walk her down the aisle. She walked down by herself. And then her dad stands up and he said um, that this is, way out of the box for her and uncomfortable for him. So when I mean my stand up, he's saying this to everyone. And that he trusts her so much, and his hope is that it will turn into something good. And he sits down. Then we go to Michelle and Cameron's wedding, and they're dancing, and she's so short because he's so tall. Um, it was cute. And then Michelle's brother gave a speech and let Cameron know that she loves Disneyland, which that's adorable. Next, we go to Nikki and Shawn, and Nikki wants to take it slow. All right, I got cut off. So, um, I don't look at the computer, so I don't know where I got cut off. Uh, so what part do I go back to? I guess real quick, and if it's a repeat, I'm sorry because I don't know where it left off. Um, Caitlin's dad, Jeff, was not a fan of what was going on. She walked down the aisle by herself. Her dad stood up during the ceremony and was talking to everyone that it's way out of the box for her. It's uncomfortable for him, but he goes, I trust her so much, and I hope it will turn into something good. Okay. So then Michelle and Cameron, they're dancing, and she's so short, so cute. Because again, Cameron's very tall. And the bride, uh, Michelle, her brother gave a speech, And let Cameron know she loves Disneyland. And cut off again. Oh, this is fun. Um, at least I'm watching where I'm left off, so I'm not repeating when it comes back. Nikki and Shawn, they want to take it slow. Um, I mean, at least Nikki does, and then Shawn gets advice, and he was told to do the same. Uh, Next is Devin and Caitlin, and okay, I guess I'm back. It didn't say recording. Okay, well, now it's saying recording in progress. I don't know what's going on. Zoom keeps lets me talk and then it cuts off and comes back. I don't know if it's a Zoom thing, if it's my internet or what. The reason why I'm recording on Zoom, I'm in a room by myself. It's the best way for me to record my solo stuff because I tried other ways to do it without using the internet and my voice wasn't loud enough. So this is the best way. Don't have, well, maybe what, four more pages to go. So let's hope for the best. So, Devin and Caitlin. Devin shakes her dad's hand and then he talks to her parents and you know, just reassuring him he has her best interests at heart and he wears his heart on the sleeve. So, I think her parents felt a little bit more relieved. We go back to um Belgely and Mecca's wedding. They're dancing and Belgely was holding a baby, and his friends were saying, "Oh, looks like she's got baby fever." And I guess Mecca's not ready for that. And oh, and then his dad, Mecca's dad, was accusing him of having an erection when he saw Belgely, you know, up at the ceremony. And he's like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." Okay, next we go to Courtney and Nick, and she is talking to his brothers and friends. Because, like I said earlier, Nick's family wasn't there. So she, you know, getting a good vibe. Then we go to Tori and Felipe. They were cutting the cake. And I guess in Brazil, you cut the cake, and the first piece goes to a very special person in your life. And he gave it to Tori. And then Tori gave it to his mom. And she was like really appreciative of that. Um, All right. So then we go to Shawn and Nikki. Shawn does the garter toss and used his teeth, and I don't think Nikki was too thrilled with that. And but he was polite and asked for a kiss, and she just gives a peck. Back to Marissa and Adam. Um, she was talking to the guys, and they were telling her that one of his obsessions is the jet ski. All right, back to Caitlin and Devin. She changed into a shorter dress. So they're dancing, and Devin's friends raised him up, and he was laying down up in the air, and they were holding him, tossing him around. And then um, Caitlin's dad gave another speech, um, pretty much saying he's old school. He wasn't going to come 5 days ago, and he changed his mind. And he's glad he did, and that he really enjoyed meeting everybody. So apparently, I think this is a Zoom problem because I just got a thing that they detected a crashing issue. So I sent a report. So let's try to get this over. Um, All right. Caitlin and nope, we already I don't know where it cut off. Um, but just in case, real quick, Caitlin and Devin, she changed in a shorter dress. The guys were raising him up and kind of tossing him around. And then Caitlin's dad did another speech that 5 days ago he wasn't going to come to the wedding, but he changed his mind and he's glad. And he was glad to meet everybody. Courtney and Nick, um, Nick talks to her parents, and I'm sorry, Courtney was talking to her parents and letting them know about Nick being on reality shows, but she didn't feel that was an issue, and she says that was the past. It's time to move forward. Okay. Belle and Mecca, back to them, and she let him know she never had a dad, and she really didn't see a marriage, how a healthy marriage is, and Mecca too. So that they have in common. Back to Cam and Michelle. They were this is the oh, and when Belle and Mecca were having this discussion, this was in the car going to their hotel room. So then now Cam and Michelle, they're in their car going to the hotel room, and they said it was like a big change and a challenge. And she said her last relationship was 3 years, and he said 6 months was his like most well, his longest relationship. And I can't read my writing. Okay. So that's it for them. Courtney and Nick. Courtney said she had high standards and they were met. Um, and this is back at the hotel. They didn't show I don't believe they showed everyone going in the car. So she's in her pajamas, putting her hair down, and he's like, "Gosh, your hair's long." And she said, "Oh, it's extensions." And Nick, oh, and Nick said that he liked that she took her makeup off. And then they share a bed. Becca and Joe Belgely, they were talking, and they're like, um, do you have any fears? And Becca says, well, I brush my teeth in the shower. So you probably think that's weird. And she said, oh, I do it too. So they're going to build a friendship. So I believe they're sharing a bed too, but no monkey business. Marissa and Adam. And when he saw her smile, that's when he remembered who she was. And she said she was going to go sleep on the couch. And I was like, okay. But next thing you know, you see her going in the room and them closing. I don't know if the cameramen were outside on the patio or what, but you see curtains closed and the cameraman, you could see his reflection through the window. And I was just like, okay, so did she not sleep on the couch? I guess we'll find out come Thursday. Nikki and Shawn, um, sharing a bed, but she said we stay on each of our side. And a side note, she didn't say this to him. She said he's really not her physical type, but and she does not feel attracted, but it could change. And then I mean, maybe Shawn shouldn't have done this, but he was teasing her about sexual stuff having to do with 69. And he asked for a kiss, and she said she'd hold off. And then, a side note, She was saying that, that was a little too much, but she said she did like 69. It was her favorite position. But honestly, the vibe I get just seeing her face and the body language, uh, definitely she's not into him, and I don't know if she can get there. Her type is like somebody tall, and he's not. He's probably, I mean, he may be a couple inches taller than her, but looks, he's average, but I definitely don't see these two making it. That's just the vibe I get. And I just think it's an attraction thing with her. I don't think she's attracted to him, and I don't think she can get there. All right, Caitlin and Devin. Um, he really likes her, and they go to sleep in the same bed. Then we have Michelle and Cam, and she asks a little bit more about why his relationships were so short, and he said, "Wrong girl, place or time." So last, Felipe and Tori, um, they're, let's see, they share, yeah, they share the bed, and they kiss goodnight, and that's where it ends. So, real quick, let's go over these couples. Adam and Marissa. Um, I can't really give an opinion. If I think they're gonna make it, I think I need to see more. Tori and Felipe. Yeah, got cut off again. Just in case this didn't record, Adam and Marissa, I don't know. I don't know enough, haven't seen enough if they're going to make it. Tori and Felipe, I got a good feeling about them. Um, Mecca and Belshali, they have uh some common, things, possibly. Nick and Courtney, I don't know. Um, I know she said it didn't bother her with all his reality stuff, but I don't know if they're going to be long lasting. Michelle and Cameron, um, I think there's hope for them. Definitely there was no drama. Shawn and Nikki, yeah, no. Oh my gosh, I just want to get to the end. Shawn and Nikki, no. I don't think they're lasting. Um, let's see. Who else? I talked about Belshali and Mecca, Tori, Courtney, and Nick. Um, Caitlin and Devin. I don't know. Still don't know enough. So there's what, one, like 7 couples. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Let me just go through my notes and see if I'm missing anybody. Don't think so. All right. I think that about covers it. Like I said, next episode's Thursday. It's 3 episodes, and I'm gonna call it a night because this keeps cutting off. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap. And yes, there are spoilers out there. Reddit. And I do not know offhand if anyone else is doing recaps. No. Okay. I think I covered everybody. Um, I'm going to call it a day because this keeps cutting off. So next airing is on Peacock Thursday, 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Till then. See ya. We really appreciate you hanging out with the two scrappy chicks today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, download, and share it with a friend. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, just let us know.